Okay, so turn to your homework. Radical test tomorrow. All that stuff on the quiz we just corrected is on it. Oh, that's your mask. Good job. Yeah, I knew that. And everything we did after the quiz, aka exponent laws, multi-step exponent laws, and rational exponents. And today we're going to finish that off and do a shortcut. But let's start with this homework you had yesterday to get these concepts ingrained in your brain for more than one day. We learned that exponent of 1/2 means square root of 16, and talking about the quiz, what's the square root of 16? Nope. Positive, -4. Two answers when it's by itself. 1/3 means cubic root. Now don't just do that, because you've had some questions that said just rewrite it as a radical. This one says rewrite and evaluate. So what number times itself 3 times equals 64? Is it 4 or is it positive -4? 4. Cubic roots are either positive or negative. Good job. This is a 5th root of 32. Haven't seen 5th roots too much, but probably answers 2, 3, or 10. What's the answer? 2. And we have a cubic root of a negative. Anytime you have a cubic root of a negative, the answer is negative. What's the answer? -3. That's cool. Today, this is what we're doing. Look, it's the same thing, except for we have a negative exponent. 1 over, answer is 1/4. 64 to the negative 1/3 is 1 over 64 to the positive 1/3. Okay, so if it's negative, we're just going to put 1 over. And you're going to do the exact same thing in the denominator. Okay? Remember math karate? I told you I was right. Zero exponent equals 1. 0 exponent equals 1. Fire! Oh, did you hear that snap? Negative exponent equals 1 over 1 over. Fire! Yeah! I missed it. Yeah! Oh, dramatic effect. Holy. That's just a big giant mess. Broken glass everywhere. Okay. I use the force. Pick it up. Da-da-da-da-da. Meow, meow, meow. Okay, so math karate, 1 over. Today we're going to have negative 1/2. That's fine. It's 1 over exponent positive 1/2. Okay, that's how cool old math teachers spell over. Next. Can I just do this, please? There we go. Other homework is you have to know, so we did yesterday, whether this is cubic root or square root. Okay, denominator says root, denominator is the index. This means square root of 9, all cubed. And then you have to tell me what the square root of 9 equals. 3, and then you have to tell me what 3 cubed equals. 27. Hiya! This one, cubic root of 27. What do you do with the 2? The numerator goes outside the bracket. Divided by the cubic root of 8, all squared. I'm going to run out of room. Oh well. This is 3 squared divided by 2 squared, and you don't leave it like that. You put 9 over 4 as the answer. Check. Oh, we have erasing. That's good. You made a small mistake. Make yourself a study note. Anybody get 9 over 4? Check. Oh, I got to take attendance as well. Okay, D, I changed it, so go ahead and write this new question down. This is more my style than a decimal base with a decimal exponent. So we learned yesterday that when we have a decimal exponent, we rewrite it as a fractional exponent. We need to, and go 1.5 math fraction, enter in our calculator. What is fraction for 1.5? Somebody? Good job. 3/2, and that means square root of 36, all cubed. You gotta remind me to stay on this side so the podcast can hear better because I'm closer to the boom microphone. 6 cubed, what does that equal? 216? That's my guess. 36 times 6, looks right. 180 plus 36. This one, cubic root, denominator equals root. So I'm going cubic root of -64, pardon me, I'm going to add a negative sign there. And then the numerator, this 2 goes right here. That equals -4 in brackets squared. And you don't want to do all this work and then get it wrong on the multiple choice. Is the answer 16 or -16? AC/DC? 16. Negative times negative equals positive. Clap, 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 clap. Okay. Any questions on these guys? Any questions on these guys?
What is AC/DC? I
don't know, but it was one of the 3 cassettes that I had when I was growing up in the 1920s. Okay, let's move on to today's stuff. There we go. So write this down. This is textbook, but the textbook gives the answers away, so let's not even open our textbooks. Go ahead and write this down. We've already seen it already. Math karate, 1/80. Yeah! Negative exponent is 1 over the positive exponent. So there. So we've done a whole little section on this 2 days ago. Reminder, 3 to the -2 equals 1 over 3 to the +2. And you get 1 over 9 as your answer. Don't forget, you got to keep the 1 over throughout your whole answer. When you've done writing down the green, go ahead and do the blue, please. Thank you. Well, you're starting to have to squeeze this blue one in here. So 7 to the -2 is 1 over 7 to the +2, which is 1/49th. Wonderful. Full marks when you see that on the test. It is not equal to -14. It is not equal to -49. It is 1 over 49 is what you want. Even though the other wrong answers appear in your big fat brain a little bit. Those are wrong. Now we're going to do, yesterday we did 8 to the 2/3. Now we're going to do 8 to the -2/3, which is the same thing, except for you put 1 over and do all your work in the denominator. Okay, so let's go ahead and stay with the blue. So 8 to the -2/3, math karate is 1 over 8 to the +2/3. And I see that I put the red equal sign here, otherwise I'm going to run out of room. So 1 over 8 to the +2/3. That's what a negative exponent means. And then you do the work in the denominator. So 1 over 8 to the 2/3 is the cubic root of 8, all squared. You just got to keep remembering your 1 overs. It's easy to lose it. 1 over cubic root of 8 is 2, and 2 squared equals 1 over 4. Looks like a lot of work, but really it's the same thing you did yesterday with 1 over, 1 over, 1 over, 1 over. This looks a little scarier when you have to write down 1 over every time. So 1 over 4, final answer, multiple choice. Final answer, show your work on not multiple choice. So there's your math karate. Go ahead and do 6A, 8A, and 9A. And we'll see how you do 9A, and then we'll move to 9C. Okay, go ahead and do those green guys. You can do 9C if you think you're pretty confident with 9A, but we'll correct the first three in 3 minutes. Okay, 6A. Okay, these are the ones that we've already done. They're not new from today. They're review of 2 days ago. So 2 to the negative 3 equals 1 over 2 to the positive 3, which is 1 over 8. Sorry about it not looking so good. Here, how do I do that? And this is similarly 1 over 3 to the positive 2, which is 1 over 9. Oh, I can see Tony has his kindergarten juice again. I saw that at Costco. It has ages 5 minus. Nailed it. What did you say about cheese?
Your strengths are so yummy.
Cheese? Oh, I got a great idea. Cheese gum. Dragon's Den. All the old cheese that goes to waste, I'll make gum out of it. I'll be a millionaire. Lactose free. Score. Okay, haven't too much fun in math.
Cheese juice.
You probably disagree. All right, here's the stuff we're doing today.
Cheese, mustard.
There we go. 4 to the 1/2 is 1 over 4 to the positive 1/2, which is 1 over the square root of 4, which is 1 over 2. You don't need to put positive and negative because it's with something. You put it, that's fine. Oops, can't see it. I'll use the force to bring back the 27 force. Yes, just with my mind I did that. 27 to the negative 1/3 equals 1 over 27 to the positive 1/3, which is 1 over cubic root of 27, which is 1 over what? 9 or 3? 3, good job. Okay, I lied. I told you I was going to wait and do that, but that's okay. We have another one. So if you didn't get 9A or 9C correct, go ahead and do 9G, and who cares? We're just learning this. Do 9G. Negative exponent is 1 over the positive exponent. Pause for jokes. Okay, leave the jokes to me. Thank you very much. AC/DC. Okay, 9 to the negative 3 over 2 is 1 over 9 to the positive 3 over 2. This is what we learned yesterday. This is either cubic root or square root. Which one? Good job. Square root, all cubed. Sorry, and I'm going to move over here. Next step is right here. So 1 over square root of 9 equals 3. And don't forget there's an exponent on the 3, so 1/27. No one said anything about my new hairdo today? First time in 12 years. It took 12 seconds. No, I look completely different. Good for me. Again, old guys don't rule. Homework, 5 minutes. We're going to work on the stuff I underlined. So do 9 and 13 first, okay? And I'll again use the force to bring. Look at that! Just use the energy of the world to do that. Thank you, my father, Luke Skywalker. So go do this and do 9 and 13 first, please. Right, 9 and 13. Okay, here's the answers to 3 of them. Go ahead and correct your own. 27 to the negative 1/3, 1 over 27 to the positive 1/3, finish it. 32 to the negative 2/5 is 1 over 32 to the positive 2/5. And now you got to understand which one's the root, square root or fifth root. Again, you might be able to take the square root, fifth root of the number I give you. In this case, you can't take the square root of 32, so you know it's fifth root. But if it was 64 and there was square root or cubic root, you have to know which one and not guess. Okay, so it's always the denominator that equals the root. Then you simplify the root part. The fifth root of 32 is 2. And then you apply the exponent 2 squared equals 4. It's kind of silly to do 32 squared and then take the square root. Remember we learned 2 different ways yesterday? That's kind of the useless way, I would say. And 13b, good question, starts. Now we have a negative decimal exponent. Same thing with, we had a positive decimal exponent. We write it as a fraction, and if it's negative, we write down 1 over, 1 over, 1 over, square root of 16, 4 cubed equals 64, but don't forget the 1 over part in your answer.
Okay.
Any questions? Okay, next and final thing we're learning before the test is the super fun shortcut. Dun dun dun. Remember what I said about this in university? When you see M's and N's, just put numbers there and you'll understand it better. This, to write down all these notes, this is a shortcut only if you have a fractional base and a negative exponent. So don't write anything down yet. Let's just see what's happening here. You'll notice that we flip the fraction. The numerator and denominator exchange places into the green, y over x. And the exponent we do not flip. We just get rid, bye-bye, get rid of the negative sign and make it positive. Okay? So go ahead and write all those notes, including the brackets. Don't flip the exponent. You only use this if you have a fractional base and a negative exponent. If you have a positive exponent, you do not flip. This is a shortcut. We could do it the grade 7-8 way, where we divide by a fraction and multiply by the reciprocal, but this shortcut works every time. Okay, we don't have time to show you the math of it. So you learned that in grade 7-8. We're going to just use the shortcut. It works every time, so we're going to use it in high school. Let's talk about the first example. Go ahead and write down the first example in red. If you have a negative 3/4, you have a fractional base to the negative 1/3 exponent. Now, first thing, if you have a negative sign in the middle, this is a negative sign with the arrow right here. That's a negative sign. That doesn't mean they're both negative. That means one or the other is negative. Okay, if it's negative, they both can't be negative because 2 negative make a positive. So I'm just going to move this negative sign up here. You could move it down if you want to, but the rule for negative signs that Jesus said on the Sermon on the Mount, thou shalt not have negative signs in thy denominator. Amen. Oh. So we're going to keep this, and then we're going to flip it, but I don't flip the negative signs because if I flip the negative sign, I got to bring it back up anyway. So I'm just going to flip the numbers right here. The 3 goes into the denominator. The 4 goes into the numerator. That's what we get right here. The exponent just changes from negative 1/3 to positive 1/3. Okay, so flip it first. Get rid of the negative exponent. Then apply your exponent. You know that 1/3 means cubic root. So you cubic root the top and cubic root the bottom. And this one just says rewrite it. So that's good enough. Most of the time, you're going to have to take the cubic root of 8 or the cubic root of negative 64. So finish writing that off and we'll do the green one together. I'll actually talk you through it just so we know what to do and we're not guessing. Everybody still writing the red? Looks good. Okay, let's go green. First step, I'll talk you through it, is flip the fraction. Everyone flip the fraction in the brackets. This is only if you have a fractional base and a negative exponent. You would not flip it if the exponent was positive 3. Okay, so that's the first step. Second step, go ahead and get rid of the negative on the exponent and make it positive. Just like we do when we put 1 over. So this exponent turns into positive 3. Oh, he doesn't like that. Alright, you'll get it. And now 3 cubed over 10 cubed. We have a book ball. Want attention? Okay, I'll give you attention. You're not going to want the attention when I crush your hopes and dreams by beating you in a free throw contest. I'll play 21. Okay. You want best of 3 or just 1? Probably best of 3. And that's legit. Then I'll wait 2 years and play in grade 12. This one, don't forget, you got to finish it off 27 thousandths. That is kind of the easier shortcut. It's not easy, but at least you don't have to talk about fourth roots and third roots. This one is one step harder than the other one, and this is a hard question on the test, but you guys can all do it for sure. So go ahead and flip the exponent and get rid of the negative sign. Sorry, flip the base, flip the fraction, and get rid of the negative sign on the exponent. See if you can do the first step for me, then we'll continue from there. I have been shooting free throws since 1970. When were you born? 2005. The odds in Vegas are 10,000 to 1 that you could beat me. You're kind of like David and I'm Goliath. So there's a chance. Not a very good chance. But there's a tiny, tiny, tiny little chance. Not going to happen. Okay, so flip 9 over 16 to 16 over 9. Do you flip the exponent? No, never flip the exponent. So 3 halves. And now you apply the 3 halves to the numerator and denominator. You don't have to write this step. You can if it helps you, because it took me 4.5 seconds to write that step. You don't have to write that step. If you want to, you can just go right to the square root of 16 all cubed divided by the square root of 9 all cubed. You guys can all do this. This looks a lot harder than it is. What's the square root of 16? 4. Cube it. What's the square root of 9? 3. Cube it. And then use your big fat brain or punch it in your calculator. 4 cubed, 4 exponent 3. And 3 cubed is 27. Full marks. That's all you have to do. I think it's your turn. I'll leave this on for 5 seconds. Maybe I'll move it up a little bit. Okay. Go ahead and do the green one on the bottom. (2536) solved to negative 1/2. Fraction and a negative sign. Negative exponent. Bam. Shortcut. Okay, let's see how you did. Flip the base. Keep it as a positive exponent. And then, we learned yesterday, the exponent of 1/2 means square root. So square root the numerator, square root the denominator, final answer. Okay, look at that. Don't be scared. This is kind of the same thing as the last one we did, except for the last one we did just had square roots and then cubed. So basically it's the same thing. So maybe think of your shortcut as this question, and you can see it's not as bad as what we saw in the last question. Because the only difference in the last question is we just had to square this or something. So that's not too bad. Flip it, positive, and square root it or cubic root or whatever it says. Any questions on that one? Awesome. Awesome. Good thing about these ones is you test this tomorrow, so it's right in the top of your brain. Okay, go ahead and do these questions. What just happened? That's right at the beginning. No. Okay, do these homework questions. Do the 7 and 13 first. And then you can do 8D and 13F after that, but we're going to crack the ones that are underlined in 5 minutes. Okay, let's crack these guys. And it looks like blue is the color of choice. So this one is a shortcut, means flip the fraction and keep the exponent positive. So you cube the numerator, cube the denominator, and you get 27/8. This guy, you have a negative sign, so I'm just going to leave the negative sign up, and I'm going to flip, because I can use a shortcut, fractional base, negative exponent. If this was positive 2/3, would you flip it? No, only if it's a negative exponent. The shortcut doesn't work unless it's a negative exponent. So you will get a question that has a negative exponent and a positive exponent. You need to know which one you flip and which one you don't flip. Okay? So 27/8, I'm going to keep the negative sign in the numerator because we have to keep it there anyway, to the positive 2/3. And now that means negative 27 to the 2/3 divided by 8 to the 2/3. And that is denominator, that's cubic root of negative 27 all squared, running out of room, and the cubic root of divided by cubic root of 8 all squared. I'm going to move up here because I have some room. Answer is negative 3 over 2. Put the negative in brackets, and then you square it to get 9/4 as the answer. Check. What would the answer be if it was not negative?
8 over 27.
What would the answer be? It would just be flipped, because you flip it. It'd be 4/9. Okay, next. Fourth root means, don't worry about the fourth root, just flip it. 16/81 to the positive 3/4. Now that you've changed the question, now go ahead and fourth root the top and cube it. And fourth root 81 and cube it. You got 2 cubed over 3 cubed equals 8/27. What would the answer be if this was positive 3/4? 27/8. It'd be the opposite because you flip it. So it's positive exponent, you right off the bat, you wouldn't flip it. All right, super duper. Any questions on this graffiti? I watched Pawn Stars yesterday. He bought 2 pieces of graffiti art for $900,000.
Who's it by?
He went to London, the old guy.
Oh, thanks.
Crazy. So I might just buy some spray paint and no. Okay, I just searched the website Kahoots and came up with this fun activity where we do the circle questions, and I tell you whether you're right or almost right.
You gotta just have good music in the background.
So that's do 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 do. Oh, do 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 do. Do 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 do. Okay, so let's write this down. It's enlarged 200%, so that's about as good as I can do. So write down, we're going to talk about positive exponents. Write down M, muchacho, nacho cheese, to the negative second. My cheese, not your cheese. When you have a negative exponent, you can just bring it down to the denominator, because it's 1 over the positive exponent, so that means it's in the denominator. So you keep the positive exponent as is, The negative exponent just moves to the denominator and you make it positive. Okay, this is if I only, you don't have to do it unless I say positive exponents. Or if this is your answer and it's not in multiple choice, then you're going to have to realize that the multiple choice answers have positive exponents. So this is a skill you need to have. In D, same thing. You just bring the negative exponent down. Okay, so you write down everything else. 4m muchacho cubed, and the nacho cheese squared goes in the denominator. Let's give you one to do, D1/2. Go ahead and do c squared, sorry, c to the negative second, d to the negative third over elephant bird, which was also on Pawn Stars. Egg of an elephant bird, 10 feet high. I never heard of it. 10 feet high and 1,500 pounds.
Was it a real elephant?
Elephant bird, like a big giant ostrich, steroid ostrich.
Was it like living?
Okay, so I want to show you this one, star this one, and star F that we're going to get to. When you have everything you bring down to the denominator, so c squared d cubed e, and have nothing left in the numerator, what do you think you put there? 1 over the positive. Okay, you can't leave it blank and you can't just put the denominator without a numerator. That would not be correct. So you need to put a 1 there if everything goes to the denominator, because it's 1 over the positive exponent. Okay, this one, I'm going to try to dictate it to you. For F, you bring the negative exponents down. You do not bring the negative numbers down. Negative numbers stay in the numerator. Negative exponents go down. So see if you can do F on your own. And you should have study started by now. So the x cubed y squared goes in the denom. The negative 5 does not go in the denom. It's a negative number. Only negative exponents move. They say positive exponents. And the negative 5 is not an exponent. Okay, so that's cool. Oh yeah, when you get the right answer, like is that what happens?
Yeah. That's what happened.
Nice. Okay, next, you go ahead and do these. Apply the exponent rules, and then put your answer with positive exponents, please. Okay, go ahead and do 2A. Give you 15 seconds to do that. That's all you need for this question. Get it right.
2 seconds.
So this one, you add exponents, you get 2. Not 4. Remember, keep the base, keep the 2, and add exponents. So the answer is 2 to the first, which is just 2. C, this is how you did in grade 7 and 8. You did top, 3, subtract, bottom, negative 4. What's 3 subtract 4? So keep the base and subtract exponents. 3 subtract negative 4 equals 7. It does not say evaluate, so that's good enough. Full marks. It says positive exponents. That's a positive exponent. Or now, you might find this easier to do it this way. Just like you can bring negative exponents down, you can bring negative exponents up. We talked about that yesterday, or 2 days ago. So this, keep the 5 cubed. This is a much easier question. If you know that, you can bring that negative exponent to the numerator. And now you just add exponents and make it 5 to the 7th. I don't care how you do it, but you need to get me 5 to the 7th. If it says evaluate, you need to tell me what 5 exponent 7 is on your calculator. That's top one, subtract the bottom one. The bottom one's negative, so when you subtract a negative, it means addition. It's a double sign. So it's 3 subtract negative 4. That's how you get the 7. You don't add them, you subtract them. Okay, go ahead and do F. Sorry, you have a question?
Well, wouldn't it be 5, not 7? Because if you subtract 3 and you have a negative, it's like you're subtracting it, but there's no negative.
Yep.
But then the 4 becomes positive.
Yep. So 3 subtract negative 4 is 3 plus 4. So the subtraction becomes part of that
Why
positive.
did it become positive if 3 become positive?
That stays positive.
Oh,
Yeah, 'cause it is
never mind,
positive.
never mind.
Yeah.
5 looked like a negative.
No problem. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I can see that. Okay. Good question. Now you know and you're not confused. Good questions always. Okay, so go ahead and do F. I'll get out of my way. Like, look how beautiful my hair is. Everyone can see that on YouTube. That is top notch. Kind of looks like all those guys in the shampoo commercials. That's one of those, yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and do F. Go ahead and apply the exponent laws, and then write your answer with positive exponents, please. Okay, so this one, do we add or multiply exponents? Okay, 2 exponents in a row means multiply, so 3 to the negative 8 is 1 over 3 to the positive 8. Good job. Go ahead and do 3b. Anybody have any question on that? If it says evaluate, then you have to punch in 3 exponent 8. If you're not sure whether to put 3 exponent 8 in your calculator, just do it, because I'm not going to take marks off if you do it. But if it says evaluate and you don't do it, you're going to lose a half a mark at the end. Okay, so if you're not sure if you should put what 3 exponent 8 is, then just put it, because you're not going to lose marks. Go ahead and do B. I'll tell you what to do. Multiply numbers and add exponents, please. Multiply numbers and add exponents. Okay, when you multiply, negative 3 times negative 4 is 12. Add exponents, muchacho to the 6, nacho cheese to the negative 1. Now that would be good if that was my question that said simplify. But if it said rewrite with positive exponents, you'd have to rewrite with a positive exponent. Or if it's a multiple choice and that was not one of the answers, you would have to put it as a positive exponent. So go ahead and put this as a with all positive exponents. I'll give you 10 seconds to do that. That should be getting better and better and better. Since negative exponent means 1 over the positive exponent. So 12 m to the 6th, all divided by n. Good? Okay, next one, go ahead and do C. First, do the denominator, add exponents. That's your first step. That's your half your marks on C is to add exponents in the denominator. Go ahead, and you have to show me the work. You can't do all this in your head. Leave the numerator, simplify the denominator, and then subtract exponents. Okay, but the denom, add the m's. Remember there's a 1 here, so 1 plus 5 equals 6. N to the 6th. And now you need to know the exponent laws, because you can't bring the negative exponent up. You need to know that the m's is top number, subtract bottom exponent. So m to the negative 3rd, and n, you can bring it down if you want to, or you can do negative 2 subtract 6, which is negative 8. Now, bring them both down with positive exponents, like I asked you to do 1 minute ago. So 1 over m cubed, n to the 8th. You would have got n to the 8th right here if you would have brought the n squared down and added exponents. Okay, so there's a couple different ways you can get that answer. Did anybody get that answer? When you bring everything down to the numerator, don't forget to put the 1.
Oh, 3 minus 6.
Yep, 3 subtract 6. Okay. Do D, power rule, that's all I'm going to say. See if you can remember what we said about how to do D, please. Okay, this one, this is what I said. Everyone gets the exponents right, but I'm concentrating more on the number part. This is -3 is the base, 2 is the exponent. So -3 all squared equals 9 or -9? Positive 9, because -3 times itself 2 times is -3 times -3. Positive 9. Know how to do those tomorrow. You'll see them tomorrow. Okay, let's move on to the next. Cahoots. Here we go. Number 4. Simplify and evaluate. That means you have to know exponents in the answers. You got to tell me what they answer, what they equal. So this is 1 over 5 to the positive 2, which is 1 over 25. Math karate, hi-ya, 0 exponent equals 1. Good job. So you're guessing, punch it in your calculator. Okay, this one, shortcut, you do it. Okay, shortcut, flip it. That's not flipping it. That's being old. Flip it. 7 over 6, and then get rid of the negative exponent. So you square, square. So 7 squared divided by 6 squared. Beauty. D. Leave. There's a negative sign. Leave in front. Leave it out front. That's what I've been telling you. Now do the green part. What's -3 all squared? The 9 or -9? 9. So the answer with the red negative is -9. Okay, so the green part simplifies to 9, and then you have a negative sign out in front of it, and you're done. E looks more confusing than it is, because you can just bring this negative exponent up and make it positive. So -3 all squared. Again, we see the number 9. Hi.
Okay, so for D, if it was -3 cubed,
Yep.
you got -27.
Yep.
But then there's a negative in front. Would that mean it would be positive?
Absolutely. Great teaching. By you. Yep. Negative gives you a positive. Thank you, thank you. Okay, I think there's more. Maybe not. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, go ahead and apply the exponent rule, and then the shortcut. So one at a time, guys. Exponent rule first. You just did one like this with 2 exponents right beside each other. 10, figure it out before I tell you. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Oh, you didn't write it down. Good point. Forgot you have to write it down. 10 seconds to write it down, and 10 seconds to do the first step. 10, 9, is this helping? 8, 7, 6, 5.5, 5, 4.5, 4. Okay, so this one you just multiply these exponents together, keep the base, and now shortcut it up and use your calculator. Shortcut, use your calculator. So flip it, positive exponent. Someone tell me what 4 to the 6th equals, please. And what 3 to the 6th? 4 to the 6th?
Whoa.
You say 4,000 or 1,000? Okay. Well said. And 3 to the 6th? 7. Thank you. That makes sense. That's it. If it says evaluate. If it doesn't say evaluate, this is good enough. Okay, but now this one will say evaluate. Okay, we're done
Okay.
study the quiz and everything we've done after that. And the quiz, the test, listen up please. The test is worth 4 times as much as the quiz was. You have a chance to do really well on this test tomorrow, but you have to study. You know everything that's going to be on there.
Thank you.